Markus Jooste, former CEO of Steinhoff, taking his own life before he was about to be arrested and stand trial. This morning I'm joined by South African businessman, former Steinhoff chairman, Christo Wiese. But in the words of Rob Rose in his book Steinheist, he writes, the Steinhoff crash wiped more than 200 billion rand off the Joburg Stock Exchange, erased more than half the wealth of tycoon Christo Wiese, and knocked the pension funds of millions of ordinary South Africans. Christo Wiese joins me now. Christo, thanks so much. Really appreciate your time. With respect and, of course, condolences to the family of Markus Jooste. What was your initial reaction when you heard the news that Markus Jooste took his own life before he could be arrested and stand trial on the charges that the NPA were about to bring against him? Christo, good morning.
Good morning, Lester. Lester, now I've been asked by several people this question. And I decided, that it's rather, I call it almost uncivilized to make comments after people's death. I think everything had been said about, the whole incident that can possibly be said. So I have no comment to make on that.
I appreciate that. But you did lose a heck of a lot of money, $4 billion US dollars. Yeah. You've clawed that back in your litigation against Steinhoff, but you also do have enough, Christo. Is it more than about just the principle of money for you, this case?
Well, first of all, I only got back a fraction of what I'd lost, but I decided to carry on with my life and not necessarily try to recoup the money I lost, but to stay busy and to try to continue to make a contribution and to help the South African economy grow to the extent that I can, create employment for people, create opportunities for young entrepreneurs. So, my lifestyle hadn't changed at all, and the way I run my life remains the same. It's been a sad loss of money, but money you make and you lose, and you have to try to make again.
My very, very smart friends who are bankers and work for hedge funds and who know far more about the economy than me say that economists and business leaders don't necessarily mind who's in power. They don't necessarily mind what policies are going to be implemented, which could or could not affect them. They at least want stability. They at least want to know what is coming. They want to be certain about the future so that they can tailor their business ship around that. Is this something that you are concerned about or have any thoughts of heading into a 2024 election where we don't know what could be the outcome currently?
When you're in business, you have to realize that there are so many factors over which neither you nor anybody else has control. The weather, a distant war, whatever. These are factors beyond the control of normal mortals. What business people do expect from their government is clear policy guidelines against the background of a very uncertain world. And that primarily businesses exist to make a profit and to generate employment. That's its only raison d'etre. If it doesn't do that, then what is the need of the need for business?
I watched a video of you speaking at the Biz News Newsmakers Conference, and you spoke about certain policies that you say have been long overdue. You spoke about how you understand Julius Malema that says that there needs to be a transfer of land to the hands of particularly black homeowners to provide a base of how they can source capital, because land is not just about land. I think the conversation of land in South Africa has just been an agricultural conversation, but there's something that in having the title deed that you can borrow against and help you get capital to start something else. Do you think our conversation about land ownership has been overclouded simply about who farms it or not?
No, I think it has, yeah. People concentrate on the wrong thing. I mean, how many of the 7 to 11 million households that I refer to that own the structures on the land but don't own the land, how many of them really want to be farmers? I mean, farming is an extremely difficult and very high risk operation. Uh, so the the direction or the discussion has always been wrong. What we should do is, through the initiative that I refer to, try to get those people, the 7 to 11 million that I refer to get them title deeds to their properties so that they at least are owners and they have something with which they can do something if that is their desire and their ability.
And you saying that that even has not been done in even in a current government who has to some extent pushed the proposal of expropriation,
Yeah.
push the position of changing tenure into the hands of primarily black South Africans, Christo.
Yeah, well, that it always leaves me amazed, Lester, that they tackle this sort of huge issue, expropriation without compensation, etc., etc. They don't need to start there. They need to start at giving people the land on which their houses are built. Nobody can do anything else with that land anyway. Nobody's going to chase those people off their properties where they live. It's not their properties. That's the problem. It always belongs to the city council or the provincial government or the central government. Give them title to the land on which their homes are built.